Hello guys, another quick camp. I just got here and it's just started raining. I just got the tarp up. We're on sort of a half island, I don't know what it's called in English. So we're surrounded here by water. It's just a small path over there. So we're basically at the same spot as last time, but on the other end of the lake. Last time we were over there. So yeah, now we have this beautiful place all to ourselves. So I set up the DD tarp, the 3.5 meter by 3.5 meter, as a sort of a half-closed configuration here, just to get away a little bit from this rain. It's just a quick rain, I hope, so I can set up the hammock and continue. I also brought I have both the Warbonnet and the Amok with me today. So I was going to try to do a sort of not a comparison video, but name a few points about the Amok that are, well, different from a traditional hammock. But let's see how this rain goes, if we can come to that. Yeah, now I'm going to hide from the rain a little bit and set up the Warbonnet. See you in a bit. So guys, back. Rain has stopped. I had a quick bite to eat, and I also set up the Amok. So I thought I would talk about a few things that I think are very different with the Amok, and good or bad, that's for you to decide. But yeah, some of the things that is on my mind at least. So the first thing that I think is way better on this traditional hammock, this Warbonnet XLC, that is getting to close the bug net. Because here you can just reach up and you reach it and you pull it and it goes to here, and then the other one comes from the other side. So done, closed, and then you can just lean back and enjoy. And then when you want to get out, it's easy to reach again. Just reach over here on your side by your shoulder and unzip it, and you're out. Let me show you the Amok. Okay, so now I'm inside the Amok and I've prepped it a little bit. So the zipper goes from this end, and then one goes all the way around that way to over here, and the other one goes down there. So, and the trick is getting it sort of past the foot end over there. So, and as you lean forward here, the whole thing tips over. So I don't know if I can even film this and do this with one hand, because you need to really reach down there and pull it around, and then come back over to this end. And now it's all the way around. So yeah, that's quite a reach to get down there and pull it around. And I saw somebody that attached an extra length of cord, like 20 centimeters or something on this one, just to be able to easier pull it around. And of course it helps a lot if you can sort of stretch it so that the zipper passes easily. But yeah, that's a real hassle, especially when you have gear in the hammock, because you tip, at least I do, I tip it so far over when I try to get around that sort of corner with the zipper, so that if I have anything loose, like the sleeping bag or a pillow or whatever it is in the hammock, that sort of falls to the foot end and makes it even more tippy. So yeah, that's a huge difference, I think, between the Warbonnet and this Amok. And also, as you can see, this one is very, very open. You sort of, and that's a good and a bad. That's like a pro and a con. You get more sort of wind, and so I think inside this one you can get much more enclosed in the traditional hammock, I feel. But then yeah, the view you can't complain about. So yeah, I don't know if that's a sort of a good or a bad thing, but it's definitely a different thing, and something that, yeah, I think you should consider if you're in the market for an hammock, if you, depending on how you want to feel. I feel a little bit more, let me call it, exposed in the hammock than I do in the Warbonnet. It sort of encloses me a little bit more. Then you have also the getting in and out of the hammock. It's a learning curve to get in and out of this hammock. It's way, I would say, easier to get in and out of a traditional hammock. But once you sort of get the hang of it, it's not a big thing. And some would say that it's not a thing at all after you've used it for a while. But it's definitely different than from a traditional gathered end hammock, for sure. It's more tippy. It just is. Yeah, and then maybe, yeah, the last complaint I have, I don't know if it's a complaint or not, but it's definitely a difference between a traditional hammock and this flat lay type of hammock, and that's when you pack it away. This sleeping pad, the air mattress that sort of is included in the package that you use, taking that out, taking the air out, putting it back into the bag, and all of that takes so much more time than just unclipping an underkilt from a traditional hammock and just shuffling it back into your backpack. It's so much easier. But yeah, I guess that's a matter of taste and what you're used to. But yeah, especially if it's rainy or muddy, or yeah, it's just so much easier with an underkilt when you're packing away. Then a few things about this Amok Draumr 5.0 that I really love. It's extremely comfortable. Yeah, it's just extremely comfortable. There's nothing to say about that. And also I think it's extremely well made. From how you attach it to the trees, how the tarp is done with all the guy lines sort of built into it, and the carabiners and the color coding, and yeah, it's a really well thought through system. And I think it's a really good quality, well thought through system. It has a couple of differences. You can call them drawbacks from a traditional hammock, but there are also, yeah, it's a really, really nice hammock to sleep in and lie in and just hang around in. Yeah. Just lying here listening to the birds, and yeah, it's just really, really nice. Okay, so I have packed away the hammock, but let me show you what I mean when I say that it's so much easier to pack away the underkilt on the traditional hammock. On this setup I don't have any carabiners or anything, it's just two cords here. So take these and then walk over to the other side, take these, and then you have it. Just put it back in the stuff sack or put it in your backpack. it's 15 seconds and then it's done. You can't do that with an air mattress. It's just not possible. So yeah, this is so much easier. But yeah, everything has its pros and cons. But this is also a really comfortable hammock. So I'm going to sleep in this one tonight. I've had a couple of nights in the Amok to get to know that one, and now I want to go back to this one and yeah, feel the difference and gather some thoughts around what I think about them. Yeah. So, yeah, it's about 8:30. It's still very light outside. But yeah, I thought that I would catch a movie or something. Put my phone up here and just enjoy something for a while. So everyone, yeah, it's just after midnight. I've had to reconfigure since the wind has picked up quite significantly here. So yeah, now it's this end, wind is coming from this end. So this is the head end, this is a closed A-frame now. And then this side I'm keeping it half open on this side. So yeah, it's a really nice sky over here. Look at that. Yeah, time to get back into the warmth and the hammock. See you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's still quite windy. Wind has picked up quite a lot. So yeah, I'm going to make a quick exit here. Just shove the gear into the bag and head on back home. So just about packed up. So yeah, only the tarp left. I'm going to put that on top of the bag since it's a bit wet. So don't get everything else wet. But yeah, these two trees is where I had the hammock hanging when I showed you that earlier. And yeah, with how this night turned out, I'm very glad that I had this tarp, which I could close so good. And then I would not have been as enclosed and away from the wind, I believe, in the Amok if I had used that one tonight. I know people use them in all kinds of weather. I haven't figured out how to configure them properly yet. So at me being the Amok novice, I think it was a good choice of hammock this night. But yeah, I think next time I'll probably take the Amok out because it's so darn comfortable. Depends a little bit about the situation. Hopefully, yeah, I think there's a fishing trip next weekend. So yeah, probably taking the Amok then. But yeah, that's it for this time. Wishing you all the best. Cheers.